This is tutorial number 4. This will help us with lesson 2, which is actually the first lesson that we need to complete as an assignment to turn in for the class. Lesson 1 has basically been gone over in the previous three tutorials in order to help us set everything up and get ready for lesson 2. Also, you will need to find the file called One Workbook Helper that is located in the shared folder, and we will be using that primarily to do our drawings from lesson 2 through lesson 8, and I'll show you how we will continue to use that or our previous drawings as kind of a template for all the rest of our drawings. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up DraftSite, and then when DraftSite is open, I'm going to open up One Workbook Helper. Again, for you guys, One Workbook Helper is available on the shared folder. So mine's in a little bit different location. So here I go. There's my One Workbook Helper right there. That's what it looks like. You guys, again, will find that in the shared folder. So I open that up. It really doesn't look anything different, but it just has a few settings that I need your drawings to have. And you should notice that your toolbars and everything are in the same place where you left them or the period before you left them. Now, if someone happened to change your toolbars or things, watch the previous tutorials on how to move your toolbars around and get them back into the correct configuration. So again, this is lesson 2. Lesson 2 is, you can see it as a Word document on the shared folder. So you'll find that, and you should easily be able to do all of the assignments that you need to. So we're going to look at lesson 2A right now. That's what I'm looking at. And what it tells us to do is open up One Workbook Helper, which is what I have open. And we're basically going to use the line command. What I suggest for this one is that you turn grid on and you also turn snap on. Okay, so what that's going to do, as you can see, is it's going to make my cursor jump to each of these dots right here. Okay, and basically what I'm going to do to draw that first little box is I'm going to use the grid in order to help me to draw that guy. And to be honest with you, I think it's easiest if I draw the smallest one first, and then I draw if I draw the smallest rectangle first, and then draw the larger ones as I go. So here we go. I'm going to click on line, and I'm going to go, over here, and I'll go, maybe 2 dots down 1 dot, and then I'm going to hit escape, and there's my first rectangle. And just to make sure that everything is equally spaced as it looks in the picture, I'll click on line again. But this time I'm going to start at this corner, I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to go over 1. And actually E-track is kind of messing me up, so I'm going to turn E-track off down here. But I'm going to start here, I'm going to go up 1 and over 1. I have not clicked my mouse yet. Now I click my mouse, and I'm going to go outside by 1 box every single direction. And I hit escape. And then there's that guy. And the nice thing about CAD is that it remembers what my previous command was. My previous command was the line command, and so all I have to do to get back in the line command is hit enter again, and you can see it down here on the bottom in the command window. It says line, and then I have some options. I don't really need to deal with the options at this point, but it says specify start point. So I bring my cursor here, I go up 1 and over 1, now I click my mouse, and again I'm going to go outside by 1 single box in every direction and hit escape. Then I hit enter again, and I'm going to continue to do this until I get it exactly how I want it to look. And there we go. We have something that looks somewhat similar to the one on exercise 2A. And really all exercise 2A is it's just trying to get you familiar with grid and snap and using CAD and the toolbars and things like that. And so we're just trying to get it to look pretty much like it does on the page. It may not look 100% exactly the same way, but it should be close. For example, you should see these rectangles are equidistant apart from each other. They're all one bigger, both vertically and horizontally. And I'm not even worried about the dimensions. As a matter of fact, for these first few lessons in CAD, I refer to this as Etch-a-Sketch CAD, because you're not being given dimensions. I don't really care what the dimensions are. I just want you to make your drawings look like the drawings that you will find in the book, and you should be able to figure a lot of this stuff out. So that's kind of how you're going to get started with lesson 2A. I'll draw another one right here. I'll draw the one next to it where I start out with a rectangle, maybe it's about so big, about that big, and then I'll hit enter. I'll hit enter again, and then maybe I come down and I go across. I hit enter, and I come over here. I go all the way to this edge, and then I go to there, and I hit enter again, and I go and I hit enter again, and again all I'm doing by hitting enter is getting in and out of the command as I need to, and so it would basically look something like that. So that is more or less exactly what it should look like, and then I can go on and draw the remaining cube. As you can see, exercise 2B looks very similar to exercise 2A, except it's missing some lines. So if I were you, I might do something where I highlight this stuff, Control C is copy, and then I hit Control V as in Victor, and that's paste. And I'm gonna go ahead and put these guys over here, and all it wants us to do is delete some things. So I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna turn snap off because it's easier for me to use my cursor. And what I can do is I can delete some of these guys, and now I've got that guy, and now I believe it wants like one of these diagonal lines. It wants me to get rid of those guys, and it wants me to get rid of these two guys right there. And so that's what it looks like. And so that makes that a lot easier when I can use copy and paste, and you can do the remainder for that. But what I want to see is I want to see all of lesson 2, lesson 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D all on the same CAD file, and I will show you what that looks like when it's done. I actually have a student who did all of these, and so it would look something like this. So there's 2A, there's 2B, his name was Pedro Lopez, there's 2C, and then there's 2D. And so you can see that it's not exactly on the grid. I'm perfectly okay with that. As a matter of fact, if you want, you can turn the grid off when you're done, and it would look something like that. And I can explain how to do text at another time. But that's basically what you need to know for lesson 2, just to get you started, and we'll be on our way. I'll see you when we get ready for lesson number 3.